Alright, this is 4.6 notes. Your objective is that you will write terms and graph arithmetic sequences. So to start off with, we are going to have a couple terms that we're going to use. The first one, and we're going to use these terms quite a bit, specifically the second term that I'm about to tell you, but it's important to know these. So the first one that we have is sequences, or sequence. A sequence is a ordered list of numbers where each number is called a term. List of numbers. Each number is called a term. Alright. The next one is called an arithmetic sequence, which you can probably imagine is related. An arithmetic sequence. And this is an ordered list of numbers in which the difference, or the change, or kind of the going from one to the next, in which the difference between each consecutive term is the same. This difference is called a common difference. So this difference is called the common difference. Alright, so that's kind of our vocabulary. We'll have another one a little bit later on, but we're just going to kind of work through these ones first and see how they kind of work. So, for numbers 1 and 2, they asked us to write the first three terms of the arithmetic sequence. So, number 1, we're given that the first term is 3, and that common difference is 11. And so what that tells us in writing this out is we go 3, and then I can say, okay, I have 3, my common difference is 11. So what's 3 plus 11? And I know that's kind of a weird term right here, difference, because you think, oh, that means subtraction. But it just means the change from one to the other. So we go 3, and then we add 11, so that makes 14. I add an 11, and remember, we want 1, 2, 3 new terms. So we go 14, then we do the next 11, so that gives us 25. Then we do the next 11, and that gives us 26. Alright, number 2. The first term is 15. The common difference, I'm just going to shorthand it to that because you guys already have it written down, is negative 4. And so what this means is we're going to change by negative 4 each time. So I have 15, and again I want 1, 2, 3 different numbers. It kind of helps having this on this graph paper because I can set it up like that. So 15 minus 4 is 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. And then 7 minus 4 is 3. Alright, 3, 4, 5, and 6 ask us to find the common difference of the arithmetic sequence. So for number 3, we're given a set of terms. We're given 9, 15, 21, 27. And so what we do is we want to check, and we want to make sure it applies to all of them, because later on we're going to get to a point where maybe it's not actually a sequence. And so it's kind of a good habit to get into, is just checking each one. So I go, okay, 9 to 15, that's a difference of plus 6, and we want to see if the pattern holds up. 15 to 21, that's a plus 6. 21 to 27, that's a plus 6. So the common difference is 6. All right, number 4. We have 240. We have 210. We have 180. We have 150. And so I want to go through and I want to see, okay, 240 to 210, that's minus 30. 210 to 180, that's minus 30. 180 to 150, that's minus 30. So our common difference is negative 30. Number 5, I go negative 15, negative 10, negative 5, 0. And these all have these dots after that, and it just means this is continuing on. So doing this negative 15 to 10, that's a plus 5. 10 to negative 5, that's a plus 5. 5 to 0, that's a plus 5. So my common difference is 5. Number 6. 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. So to go from 2 to 2 1/4, that's an addition of 1/4. From 1/4 to 2 1/4 to 2 1/2, that's another 1/4. 1/2 is really 2 over 4. And then to the next one, that's positive 1 over 4 again. So my common difference is 1 over 4. Okay. Number 7. Number 7 asks us to graph the arithmetic sequence. So whenever we're graphing an arithmetic sequence, there's kind of like there's a little bit to it that, oh, that's a really bad line right there. There's a little bit to it that you need to be kind of aware of. So whenever we're going through an arithmetic sequence, we do need to have our numbers kind of set up. So I'm actually going to make this a little bigger because it's a little bit of a bigger graph than I was thinking. So we go down a little ways, then we're going to go across. We need to go from 3, and we're going to go at least up to 24. Let's see. I always sometimes like to try and find what that difference is, but I think we're just going to go by 3s. So I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And going along the bottom, we're actually going to set these up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so in graphing these, I'm going to go to the first point, which is 3. My second one is at 10, so I'm going to say that's about here. My third one is at 17. It's about here. My fourth one is at 24. From this, we can extrapolate a line. Line. So that then we could potentially try and graph what all the rest of them were after this. It didn't ask us to, but I like to kind of show that. Alright. Number 8. We have negative 2, negative 6, negative 10, negative 14. Alright, so I know I'm going to be in the negative area. So I'm actually going to just set up my graph that way. I think I'm going to go by negative 2's. So negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10, negative 12, negative 14, negative 16. That's about all I need to do. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we need to do. So my first term is at negative 2. My second term is at negative 6. My third term is at negative 10. And my fourth term is at negative 14. And again, you don't need to right now, but it is kind of good to note that you could draw a line that covers through all of those. All right. So like I said, for numbers 9 and 10, we're going to determine whether the sequence is arithmetic or not. So for number 9, we have 12, 17, 21, 26, ... And so here's a bunch of numbers, and we're going to see if it changes by the same amount each time. To go from 12 to 17, this is plus 5. To go from 17 to 21, that's plus 4. And then 21 to 26, that's plus 5. So this one is not arithmetic because it goes by negative 4 in the middle. Could there be a continuing pattern where it goes 5, 4, 5, 4? Yeah, but that still wouldn't be arithmetic because the common difference is not the same. So no. No common difference. Alright, number 10. We have negative 10, negative 3, 4, and 11. So I go from negative 10 to negative 3, that's plus 7. To go from negative 3 to 4, that's plus 7. To go from 4 to 11, that's plus 7. So yes, this is arithmetic. And the common difference is 7. Now, this is nice and all whenever we're talking like being like the first 4 terms. But what if I wanted you guys to find like the 10th term or the 50th term? You're like, oh man, I'd have to count out that far. And so what there is there's an equation that we can use for writing an arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic sequence equation. And what that arithmetic sequence equation is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Now that seems like a lot, and I'm going to go through what each thing means. So a sub n is the term, or really the term, the nth term. That's a better term way of saying that, and the nth term. And what that means is whenever, we ask you, okay, find the 20th thing, that's going to be the 20th term. That's what that a is going to be. A sub 1 is the first term. N is the number to be found, so the term to be found. That's a better way of saying it. Term to be found. And then D is the common difference. Okay. So looking at number 11, it says write an equation, or for 11, 12, 13, 14, it says write an equation for the nth term of the arithmetic sequence, then find a sub 10. So the first thing that we got to focus on is we got to figure out, okay, what is the equation? So we're given negative 3, negative 1, 1, 3. Looking at that, negative 3 to negative 1, that's plus 2. Negative 1 to 1, that's plus 2. 1 to 3, that's plus 2. So my common difference, is 2. Setting up from there, we go a sub n, because right now we're just doing in general. We'll solve for it here in a minute. Then a1, so I'm going to find my first term. In this case, it's negative 3 plus n minus 1 times 2. So this is our equation. Going from there, I'm going to plug in 10. So I go a sub 10 equals, and this is so that whenever I get the answer, I know that that's for the 10th term. I go negative 3 plus, and instead of n, I'm going to put 10 minus 1 times 2. So a sub 10 equals negative 3 plus 9 times 2. So a sub 10 equals negative 3 plus 18. So a sub 10 equals 15. Number 12. 2, negative 3, negative 8, negative 13. Need to find that common difference. 2 to negative 3 is subtracting 5. 3 to 8 is subtracting 5. Negative 8 to negative 13 is subtracting 5. So my difference is negative 5. So setting this up, I go a sub n equals my a1, which is 2, plus n minus 1. And then I'm going to put this negative 5 in parentheses, simply because otherwise I might think that I'm subtracting it. So that's my equation. Now if I want to find a sub 10, I'm just replacing n with 10. So I go 2 plus 10 minus 1 times negative 5. So a sub 10 equals 2 plus 9 times negative 5. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45, plus 2 is negative 43. So a sub 10 equals negative 43. Now you could, if you really, really wanted to, you could count out subtracting 5 each time and you'd be able to get that it's negative 43. However, this is a lot quicker. 13, we have 8, 16, 24, 32. 8 to 16, that's plus 8. 16 to 24, that's plus 8. 24 to 32, that's plus 8. So my difference is 8. So a sub 10 equals, my first term is 8 plus n minus 1 and 8. And you might want to put parentheses around that if you want to, if that kind of helps you out. So, oops, that wasn't a sub 10, that was a sub n. A sub n. So there's my equation. Now to solve for the a sub 10 term. So I go 8 plus 10 minus 1, oops, times 8. Fix that. So a sub 10 equals 8 plus 9 times 8. A sub 10 equals 8 plus 72. So we get a sub 10 equals 80. And finally, number 14. We have 2 over 5, 4 over 5, 6 over 5, 8 over 5, ... So this difference going from 2 to 4, or 2 over 5 to 4 over 5 is plus 2/5. 4/5 to 6/5 is plus 2/5. 6/5 to 8/5 is plus 2/5. Going from there, we're able to find that the common difference is, I don't know, I decided to write that out, or D, is 2 over 5. So writing this out, I go a sub n, because I'm keeping this in the general to start with, 2 over 5 plus n minus 1, 2 over 5. That's my equation. If I want to find a sub 10, I go 2 over 5, 10 minus 1, plus 10 minus 1, 2 over 5. So a sub 10 is 2 over 5 plus 9 times 2 over 5. So a sub 10 equals 2 over 5 plus 9 times 2 fifths. You might kind of struggle with that one. If you think about it like this way though, 9 times 2 over 5, this is really 9 over 1. You multiply across, so 9 times 2 is 18. 1 times 5 is 5. So this is 18 over 5. So plus 18 over 5. So a sub 10 is 20 over 5. And that actually reduces down to 4. And that's the end of the lesson. So check with your teacher on your assignment and have a good one.